Chasin The Racin, powered by Colchester Kawasaki. Part of the Global Moto Group, we supply new Aprilia, Moto Guzzi, Vespa, Royal Enfield, Kawasaki, Sim, Mutt and Benelli motorcycles.
3, 2, 1, and welcome back to Chasin The Racin, episode 174. And we're at Oulton Park. Delighted to be joined for the second time on the show by Dean Harrison. How's it going?
Wet. To be honest, it's a bit damp today.
Wet and miserable.
Yeah, but no, I'm all good to be honest. Just hopefully the weather will dry out for tomorrow.
I tell you what, the bar's already been set, ladies and gentlemen. Before the pod got going, Dean has kindly reminded us that you've actually won a race round here on 1,000, and Dean has set the bar for you. You better be, what were the exact words?
We'll run at the front tomorrow.
Peeling at the front there, son. So you better pull your finger out.
Do you know that the last time we were here was it was the second round of the season?
Yep.
And I got knocked off in the first round and I smashed my head, and then I had to miss the test because of the concussion rule.
Yep.
I thought I was fine coming to the track, and like I hadn't been sort of any issues at home and whatever. But as soon as I started racing, I was like not right at all. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of them weird things. And I was speaking to one of the physios here. Compared to other sports like rugby and various other sports where there's quite often concussions, there's like a proper protocol. So with rugby, there's like a real strict thing that as soon as someone's had a concussion, the medical team take over, and like it's like a very guided recovery. Something that maybe I think we're missing in this sport at the moment.
Yeah, but
we don't have anyone on the grid.
No, the thing is, most people's heads are empty in this sport anyway. So I don't think having a concussion protocol is going to help matters.
And to be fair, it's one of them where it's almost,
Stop making us laugh, will you?
You almost need protecting from
Let's be
yourself.
honest, if you came rides a motorbike, we're all a bit, a few slices short of a loaf and all that. So
That's fair.
having a bit of concussion's not going to stop the job, is it?
That's a fair point. Speaking of, stop to laugh because you're injured. Do you wanna,
I was about to say, I was actually going to ask an injury question. I've got one at the moment, but what is the worst injury you've ridden with? You know, when you talk about saving yourself, what's the worst injury you've ridden with, lads?
Broken wrist.
Was that the Ulster crash?
Yes.
Where did you race after that then? What was the time recovery on that?
Oh mate, it was obviously the Ulster. Luckily, not luckily, but it was the last sort of main road race of the season back then. And I didn't just break this; I sort of shattered it and my arm and things like that. And only bends to here. I have this deflection, this arm. That's only go there to there, and I can't go back. Like if I go to get changed from the shop, it only goes to there.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? So
is that your right? Are you right-handed as
I'm
well?
right. Yeah. Well, I'm now ambidextrous because when you've got that in a pot for a long time, you learn to wipe your ass with your left hand. Do you know what I mean? You soon come sharp to your left hand.
I don't think you were thinking about wiping your ass. But I just put that out there.
I did something to my left hand then I had to switch back to my right hand and I nearly fell off toilet seat. I thought, fuck it. But no, after I came back from injury with that, it wasn't right. Do you know what I mean? But you're trying to get back pretty sharpish, and there was something wrong inside it, and it was still broke properly. So I rode at, is it the Sunflower? I think it might have been the Sunflower in Ireland. I went to go ride, and I went out.
Is that happening this year?
Yeah, it's a weekend after Brands.
Is that what it is? Right. Well, anyway, I went to go ride there, and I went out and I'm like, this is just, there's something not quite right, and it was just too painful, so I had to go back to the hospital and have a few screws. I had some screws put in here.
Yeah.
So show that range again. You know, like if you pretend to use a front. Oh, so you've got.
No, I can do that, right? Yeah. But if I bend my hand if I'm like this and I go like forward deflection, or whatever you call it, I've got that's it.
Right.
And if I go that way to that, I can go back.
Yeah.
But I've no forward.
Can they fix that?
Nah, she's fucked.
She's fucked.
Fused.
No, it's not fused. No, they wanted to fuse it. Yeah. The hospital, we'll just fuse your wrist. You know what I mean? NHS and all that. We'll take the cheapest route possible. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, says not mate. And to be fair, I says the wrist does come in handy for more than what you're thinking. You know what I mean? I says I could do it more, so I had to go private for all my CT scans and all that sort of stuff. So I can't remember what it cost me, but I had to pay for it getting to this state.
Wow.
Right.
And speaking of injuries, every time you laugh, you struggle. Go and tell it. What have you got going on at the moment?
Basically, I was very, very lucky to be invited to go supermoto racing. So let me get my words out there. So I didn't make Scarborough the Gold Cup. Neither did you. God, but I've just realised that.
I know. Yeah, I was gutted, to be honest, but
I tell you what, we'll go back to this injury. So why did you miss it?
I was meant, you know what, right? I was meant to be at Goodwood.
Of course, that was on the same time, wasn't it? So...
But you know what? I even didn't go there.
Right?
It sounds daft, right? No, I've not had the best of years, really, probably bike racing wise. I've had some good results. I think second at the TT, you got 4 podiums and things like that, and I had podiums at the Northwest. But I've struggled a bit at the BSB more than I'd like to, like with a few more mechanical and things like that, and just hadn't quite found. I ain't found a bit of a rhythm, if you know what I mean, and I've struggled a little bit. My times have been good. I've rode around with you a bit, and I just, you know, when you feel like you've got more to give, right? But I haven't been able to show it, and I feel a bit like that. Not like when someone's pulling coattail back, sort of thing. I feel a bit like that, yeah. And I just, do you know, we've been away all the time, and I've got Mrs. 2 kids and things like that. And you're like, I'm away every weekend, and I just said to Miss, I said, you know what? I says, I want to be at home.
Yeah.
I finished what way round? It was Connell Park, wasn't it? So I did to lie. It'd have been Snetterton, straight to Goodwood, straight to here where we are now, Alton, straight to Donington, weekend off, Brands. It's just like, I said, you know what? No, I said, I need a. Is it like not a mental reset? Do you know what I mean? I'm not violining, but you know, I just
take a breath, mate.
Yeah, do you know, like I just wanted to go out with my mates and ride my enduro bike.
Yeah.
Do you know, just something normal?
Fair enough, yeah.
Right, honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. I went to pub on Thursday night, because I got pub for first Thursday from home, right? I had a few pints, right? I just chilled out a bit. I had Saturday, I went riding my enduro bike with lads, right? Sunday, I went out with kids. And I just had a
nice weekend. I'm just laughing there at myself because I can just picture you saying to your missus, "Oh look, we've been doing loads of bike racing recently, and you know, I'm thinking about just knocking this weekend on the head, and you know, and just like, oh yeah, what can we do? Well, I'm going out with the lads on the enduro bike."
but you know, I just we went out Sunday, mate. It's all about compromise, right?
Class.
Trust me.
Family life balance.
Family balance.
This is exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, and I just want, and you know what? I feel so much better for it. I said a weekend at home, and I thought I'll come in. I feel a bit more refreshed almost.
Can I tell you for this weekend? So Monday, do you know the Queen's funeral?
Yes.
So the bank holiday, and it was the first day that I've had nothing actually that I've had to do. I went to bed at like normal time, and it's the first day that I just haven't set an alarm, and I just thought I'll wake up when I wake up. 4 p.m. I went to bed like normal time, like 11:30, and I like naturally let myself wake up, and it was 4 p.m. I looked at the time and I was like, what? But I needed it. I proper needed it. I was, you know, I know exactly what you're saying.
You get burnt out. Because you get et up in it sometimes a little bit much, and you make yourself more frustrated than you really need to be, right? And I got a bit like that, and I thought, you know what, I need to take a step back to try and take 2 forward, if that makes sense. So I just thought, stressing myself out, driving all the way down there. Last time I went, it took me 9 hours to get home because I had some idiot in the middle of M25 protesting for some emissions bollocks. That ruined my life. So I thought, you know what? This isn't happening. I thought, I'm going to just have a weekend off. Went and ride me off-road bike, and that were it.
I've got a story about the people that protest on the M25. So do you know when we were racing a Brands Hatch?
Yep.
As we were heading down, it just so happened that I was driving the van with the trailer, my dad's in the truck, and then Christian Idden just happened to be like next to us on the motorway, him and Nicola. So we're like the three of us kind of in tow, and all the way down it was saying diversion off the M25. I think somebody had been protesting on the Dartford crossing. So as you get to that point where you've got to decide to go M25, or if you go on the North Circular, it was saying road ahead closed and whatever. But Christian went that way, and I went down into the North Circular with my dad behind. Anyway, got there, it's like midnight, you get to the race and whatever, you forget about it. Following week, I get a fine, 150 quid, because I'd went in the low emission zone and I hadn't registered or whatever.
Yeah.
So 150 quid, so I'm like, fucking hell. Anyway, my dad then rings us up, £800 fine, because the wagon, you have to register it, like some safety, like with cameras or something. So we hadn't even planned to go that way. We got diverted off.
Yeah.
Then I got speaking to Joe Richardson, JR Performance,
right.
Big Joe. He got a $2,000 fine for the same thing because of his wagon. So he's
got a bigger wagon.
Yeah, he's looking to set up some kind of petition to get this, because I mean, basically by me choosing to go that way, it cost me like 950 quid before the weekend starts, and you're like,
it's just all a swindle, isn't it? It's the world we live in today. Bradford brings a clean air zone in next week.
I seen that.
Shut up, man.
Honestly,
Bradford
is a clean air zone.
Join it,
mate. I'm not being funny, right?
Let's join in Birmingham and Bristol, I think, are the
Yeah,
two.
but I'm not being funny, right, mate? The area in Bradford is crystal clear. You can sit outside. You'll be at my yard at work, right? You can look over Bradford, mate. There's no... It's fine.
It's just
fine.
a scam in it, making
Mate.
money.
I've got a picture to prove this.
So at the weekend, man, I went down to I was commentating on the World Endurance in London. So
I saw that, yeah.
Name drop.
I had to drop
Classy name drop.
I had to drive down in the van. Having a van in London for 3 days cost us, just in the low emission thing, 52 quid, I think it was.
I refuse to go to London.
Absolutely mental, man.
No, I won't go. Honestly, I won't do London. I will. My missus goes, why don't you go for a weekend away in London? Excuse me? I'm like,
You can.
you can. I says, mate, I'm not going. I hate. I just don't like any. It's too hustle and bustle for me.
Yeah, but it's very busy. With the low emission zone in Bradford, is that do you have to have like a certain type of van or something?
Oh, mate, I had to buy a Euro 6 diesel van because I had a transit van, but it wasn't a Euro 6. So I had to go out and buy a van. If not, it would have cost me to drive to work and back. It would have cost me £9 a day.
Shut up, man.
45 quid a week to drive to work, it man.
It's mental, isn't it, man? It's one of them things that just.
But it's all about emissions. It's all to do with clean air. It's not to do with making any money.
I'm not being funny, but if China
good
if China doesn't get on board, we're just pissing in the wind. That's the bloody
Mate,
side of it.
But you don't forget, England's one of the biggest countries in the world, isn't it?
The UK.
You know what I mean? Yeah, a little tiny stamp this big. He's going to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
but the
like,
Queen,
okay.
the
UK
UK
is
the Queen,
almost-
it'll be the king on the stamp now.
The UK is almost exactly 1% of the world's population.
Yeah, but don't forget, you pay £9 a day to drive through Bradford, mate. You're going to help that cause. Not to do with making any money. Just that £9 a day, mate, will make all the difference.
Well, I think the main point of this show is just don't go to Bradford, really.
Yeah,
It's going to
well,
cost you
that's
£9 there.
Yeah, exactly. Not the idea.
I would stand.
There might be a little bit less traffic for you in your Euro 6 van anyway.
There you go. So how's work going anyway, now that you're speaking of work?
No, it's all right. Just keep chipping away with the job, you know.
Good. And congratulations to your brother who did make it to the Gold Cup.
He did. Finished first in the B final.
There we are.
Yeah, he won it, your brother there, yeah.
See, the Harrisons are still taking over Scarborough.
You know
Even
what I mean?
when Dean's up there.
I went there, it's the weekend, yeah, so... No, he did well, actually. He had a good weekend.
Was your father racing?
No, Brad wasn't there, no. He's got a new sidecar and it wasn't ready, so he couldn't go. So he'll be back next year.
Is he updated that outfit?
Yeah, he's got new R6s, yes. But she can't get the engines and he can still get an R6, so he's put Yamahas in.
What was he? Was he a Honda man?
Yes.
Right. Because the only person who's running the Hondas now with the Birchells.
Yeah.
But they running flat, like, dry sumps, is it?
Yeah,
dry sump engines and all sorts.
Too technical for this time of night.
It's not for us, man.
Said too technical. When I just walked in to get Dean to come down, I walked into hospitality. I walked into it was like a Brian Cox physics lesson. Sat there at the table.
We were talking about elements and splitting atoms.
Catalytic
And
converters.
quantum physics we was talking about, believe it or not.
Well, I'm shocked. They are.
Yes. Not that I know about that, but we were just having a debate of gravity and bending space and time and things like this.
And so you've come here to unwind, son. There you
Yes.
are. Just talk some nonsense about motorcycles. I like it.
And speaking of, because you were down to do the Goodwood Festival of Speed, weren't
Yeah.
you? Did you just pull out, or did somebody else just replace you? Or
Yeah,
something?
get replaced.
Who replaced you then?
I don't even know.
What's,
that's a shame.
I've never been for the I've been down for the Festival of Speed. I've never been for the revival. What's the sort of setup for the revival? Is it like a 3-day? Everyone dresses up.
Yeah, you just dress up in clothes period of that year. It's unbelievable. The event is mind-blowing, to be honest. The things that are there, you see, it's just like going back in time. It is that good. Even all the sets that are there, the fairgrounds that are there, it is quite mind-blowing, to be honest.
You would look like a bellend if you didn't dress up.
Yeah, yes,
It was
yeah.
that
Honestly, yeah.
involved.
If you are in the game and dressed up like they are, you would be the odd one out. You have to be involved almost.
So where you park your caravans and stuff like that over the road, they come in like old Land Rovers and
Yeah,
all the
pick you
drivers
up
are
and-
dressed
yeah.
up and like honestly, it's just unreal.
Yeah, it is good. Honestly, as far as events go, it's just mind-blowing.
As far as results, I think it was Josh Brooks that won it. I can't remember who was the other lad.
It was Josh.
It was Josh Brooks. I'm trying to remember the other. That's terrible. That Josh will have to remind us because it's like an endurance. Is it? It's not really an endurance
Yeah,
race.
it's
It's
a
kind of.
standard race. Like you share the ride with another rider, and you sort of split the start. You do a Le Mans start, run across the track, and things like that. But I didn't race last year. My bike broke down after 5 laps.
Because was that the MV year? No, because there's
Michael won on the MV with that year, but I rode a matchless G50 when I did it.
Oh, proper bike. Proper bike.
Just going back, I know we mentioned it before, but then we changed subjects. You were racing Supermoto at the weekend.
Yeah, so
How did that go?
I got invited down by Dave and Andy Hayes. He lent me his Supermoto 450 Husky. What an absolute laugh. You ever done Supermoto?
No.
I tell you what, you have to have a go at it. You haven't done it.
What track are you at? They're at Teesside,
They did it at Teesside, but they've got tracks at Wigan. They've got a full calendar. Now, the sport, and it's like every sport at the moment, but it's like it's struggling to get the numbers in. The grids are full, but there is a class for literally everyone. They've got like the super light cars, they've got mini bike class, they've got like the 450, but it's A, B, and C. So you go off your qualifying, but then the constant rolling grids, the way it's organised is fantastic. I think you get like 3 races a day, but they never run the same track twice.
Right.
So they spin the track round. So like it's clockwise, then anti-clockwise the following day. So 2 different sets of times, and like you've got the pros that are just unbelievable when you watch them, like constantly sliding, and like the time difference is phenomenal. But the good thing is you can up your class. So you have to be like a pro sandbagger to try and win your class if you're the C's or the B's. So like the top 2 go up, and then in the A's the top 2 go down. So it's constantly moving. It's fantastic. Like,
what were you in?
Yeah, I qualified. I missed half my qualifying, so I was like the back of the B's.
Good sandbagging.
Cracking sandbagging, son. And then I got halfway up, and I kept falling off. That's the blunt side of it. So Andy, I do apologise because I owe you some plastics, but I got to the dirt and just total ambition outweighed skill and talent, 100%. Like the tarmac, like I have like tarmac races as well. So just the tarmac. I won them races. I'm thinking I've got to hold my own somehow this bloody event. But the dirt, it is phenomenal what they're doing because they're on slick tyres and trying to get grip. You just like I've done a little bit of motocrossing, but you just open the throttle on those things and they just spin up.
Yeah.
And the way you have to pump the jumps to get them going, and it's all loose, and like they've got like the landing off the step downs is off camber. Their commitment, the A lads, like I'm going up halfway and just casing the landing, then rolling it through to slow the bike down. But them lads just boom, nearly at the bottom, slamming on the brakes, like no fun because it will just wash out. But every time, it was always about body position. But the one thing I can massively see the benefit, and I was actually trying to listen lads who have stepped up through Supermoto, but like Keith Farmer, Christian Nidden, like Davey Todd, like the biggest value lesson for me from going from Supermoto, it's the trust and the feel element is constantly changing. So normally we go through a corner and go, right, there's grip, go again, there's grip, and it slides slightly, but the atmospherics of the track is constantly changing. So you're coming from dirt onto tarmac, and it just, you can't find it's moving, it's slipping, it's phenomenal. But if you step off track round here, or any short circuit, like I'm speaking for me, you don't just tip into the next turn, do you? Like straight away. Or you tell me, lads, you lads are a lot faster. You know, if you go crash tracking on a wet day.
Oh, you can't. You got your dirty tyres, haven't you? So you got to clean them up, yeah.
That's it. And for me, it takes a while to go, right, let's get back to that limit. But when you watch the A lads, they're flying off turns and just dirty as fuck and just going, wah, and just letting the thing slide and breathe, and you think, wow, utter bike control, it's fantastic.
Your mechanic Ben Stafford was a top supermoto rider, wasn't he?
Was he?
Yeah. Him and Malachi sort of came through together.
They both did Super Stock 600 as well.
Yeah, and then both rode for the team you race for now.
Yeah, they do,
in Stock 6.
But for lads that can't afford BS, like, you know, if you can't afford club racing, you know, and you want to go out racing still, Supermoto is brilliant.
Yeah.
I think, and more unfortunately, like I did drop Andy's bike a couple of times in the dirt, but at first you think
it's like when you've got that sort of bike though, it's like riding motocross or enduro or trials bikes.
Yeah.
Worse, you've bent an handlebar and broke a lever.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not. It's like you crash a super bike or a super stock, super sport. It's a big job to start repairing stuff.
Are you still riding a KX 250 or 450 enduro?
Yeah, I've got a KX 250X enduro.
But they don't come as an enduro bike, do they?
Yeah. The 250X is an enduro. There's a 250F, which is a motocross bike.
Right.
And there's a KX 250X, which is an enduro. They have a different size rear wheel. A motocross will have a 19-inch rear wheel and narrower, whereas the enduro will have an 18-inch rear wheel.
Right. And
a bigger tyre.
And do they do much in the sort of endurance world? How's that? Like, do they put much effort in? And
No, I don't.
Not in the endurance side of things.
No, maybe in the cross-country enduro. The Kawasaki, I ride 2 enduro bikes, I'm not going to lie. I've got to tell the truth. I'm not a liar. I ride 2 enduro bikes, right? I do have a Kawasaki, and if I'm doing a cross country, right, I'll use my Kawasaki. Because for cross country riding, the Kawasaki is actually a really good bike. It surprised me. When I first got it, I thought, it's like a bit more because see how it goes. But actually, cross country, it's actually quite a good bike. It surprised me how good it is. But when I go do the extreme enduro, I'm not good at any of this. I do it just for a bit.
I've seen
bollocks.
You're talking bollocks. I've seen
You're shite.
Yeah,
You can pedal across her.
Can I?
You can.
Well, by just entering the extreme classes, you're at a very good level.
Right, well, when I go do the extreme enduro then, for example, I'll ride a Sherco 300 two-stroke for Eurotech.
Yeah.
I got a bike from Eurotech, so I've got that, which is a different. It's doing the extreme enduro because it's 2 totally different sort of levels. Like when I finished Brands this year, I finished Brands at what time? Last race?
4:35.
Yeah, I'm on the plane at 9:45 from Gatwick to Turkey to do the Sea to Sky enduro race over 4 days.
You've done that twice now.
No, I've done it once. I did it once a few years ago, and I wanted to do it last year, but it clashed because I can't do it because it was the whole thing. But I right enjoy it, and I just because I know like quite a lot of my mates do it.
Yeah.
And knowing like there's a group of lads that all do something, you have fun together, don't you?
Aye.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's one of them. So we all ride enjoy it, and I just like doing it, and I just thought right. So I'm going over to do the Sea to Sky. I've put a provisional entry in. I did it the other day I do the Red Bull Romaniacs for next year.
Wow.
Yeah, that's not for mugs.
No, I want to have a go. I want to do Extreme Ligaras as well, depending on the dates.
Yeah.
I want to do a couple of World Championship rounds next year.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, just for fun. I enjoy doing it, and for fitness, right? If you get an enduro bike, you're more than welcome to come out with me anytime you want.
I don't think we will now.
honestly, there's all. Honestly, I'm not an expert rider by all means. Do you know what I mean? But I just do it just for. I enjoy doing it. Fitness is brilliant, and when you do enduro, you're not going. It's not like when you go motocross riding. It's so intense and full of ruts, and you can hurt yourself. You can hurt yourself on a trials bike.
Yeah.
But I just think enduro riding's got quite a good balance of speed, fitness, and injury risk management almost.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little bit social as well.
Yeah.
So I just that.
So when we ask these questions, like to all the riders, what do you think's most transferable for road riding? It's literally just enjoyment for you and a bit of fitness. There's no. Would you say the skills are transferable?
No. But it sounds daft, right? Because there's lads that say there's a few lads that ride enduro near me, and they're world class lads, right? And they're to be top 10 at World Championship, right? Or top, they'll be run real well at it.
Aye.
And there's a few of them have had to go road bikes, and they're like, how the fuck do you ride with that?
Aye.
The head is gone. Because they're just like, it just feels like you're gonna tuck the front, you're gonna crash all the time. It's like, no, you've actually got grip now. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're going off a bike where you ride on dirt and it's loose and they move around, and when you ride on dirt, right, the first thing, like, I'm relatively new to it almost. The first thing I did when I started riding a few years ago, you almost tense up. No, because the bike's moving around so much underneath you.
You're locking on.
You lock on, and you're like, I am blowing out of my ass here. Do you know what I mean? And I'm knocking there like, they don't even know I sweat, and I'm like, I'm done. You know what I mean? And it's learning to relax and just let the bike find its own grip and move around. And it's so easy. It's one of them things, it's easier said than done, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Then once you've sort of got used to it a little bit, like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, now I can ride all day, and you just get used to doing what you're doing. And like your arm burns out as well, 'cause you're using the clutch all the time and things like that. But then they get on a road bike or a track day, and it's just like, because the bike's not moving underneath them, it sits exactly where it sits when you're going steady on track there. But they just like, I feel like I'm going to crash because the bike's not talking to me. Mm-hmm. Whereas I'm like, yeah, it's not, because you're not going fast enough for it to talk. Does that make sense? But he's so good at listening to their side of things and go the other way.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Never thought about that.
I think one of the good I've only done a couple of pay and play days, the enduro stuff, but
yeah,
really
it's a bit of fun. That's all I do. Pay and play. I don't do I go to an odd race now and again.
Yeah.
But I've done that. Say the Sea to Sky before. It's not a massive. It is quite a big event actually. There's 300 on it.
It's massive.
Yeah, it's a 3-4 day race. So, but I just enjoy doing it.
Mm-hmm. And that for people that, like anybody sat at home listening to this, if they just think, oh, quite fancy to go, there is like quite an entry level to it as well. Like literally just buy a bike
go
for
to. I'm fortunate. I live near Tong, where they have like the British Championship round and things like that, called Parkwood. And because I live so close, it's brilliant for me. It's 10 minutes up the road. I can finish literally 10 minutes from work, go straight there, and I ride every Wednesday afternoon. It's open, pay and play.
There's no £9 with your Euro 6 fan, just
straight in. Do you know what I mean? There you go. Then. Or you go.
Is it road registered yours?
Yeah, my bike is. Yeah.
So you could just you could literally
You could
ride
do,
there.
but I don't ride it on the road. I don't ride them on the road. No.
Is that for security reasons? It would be for me, because I wouldn't want to ride out a bike out of my place, go up the road, and someone to follow me back and go, well, that's full of bikes.
Yeah, I do have a license, and I did do a bit of road riding, but I hadn't rode a road bike for a few years, to be honest. Not for a while.
Just can't be
It's time.
Yeah.
You don't get time to do everything, do you? Whereas if I'm not here, you're doing. There's so much going on, isn't there?
Here's a question for you. I remember speaking to Gary Johnson. This is years ago, and we were talking about like road bikes and everything like that, and he said to me, I think it was Gary Johnson anyway, but he says he doesn't go on road bikes because it slows him down. Would you agree with that, lads?
No, I wouldn't. No, because riding on the road, you're in a total different mindset.
Yeah.
It's a total. You're looking.
I think that was Gary Johnson saying that, by the way.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but it's still a valid point.
Yeah,
though,
it don't bother me. I can ride on the road. I ride on the road regular. I would do, but I have done in the past. Sorry, but I just recently, just with time to do it and things like that. But no, I won't even ride my Enduro on the road. I don't even go green lane and out like that. I only go to events where it's
Pay and play sort of thing.
Yeah, pay and play days. Yeah, it's a bit of fun.
Now, I can't remember exactly the last time that you were on the podcast, but I remember Don wrote down on his dad's 600.
Oh, yeah, did you?
I did,
CBR 600.
It was at your work.
He hasn't let me on it since, by the way.
But it was definitely before this season. So, like, in terms of like the crack for this year, mainly being BSB, but also Northwest, Isle of Man,
Southern.
So we'll kind of have like a bit of a recap. Going back to out of those events, Northwest was the first like road race.
Yes.
And you few podiums there.
Your podium, the Superstock race at Northwest. Do you know what? We didn't have the best Northwest, obviously, because we had tyre issues.
This is your first year on the Dunlops, wasn't it? No.
Yeah, it was.
Well, yeah, you had a bit of dabble in.
Shit, yeah, switch.
This is a very, very sore subject. Yeah, we started. Do you know what? No, there's no wrong with any tyres. They're all brilliant. So look what wins the races. Do you know what I mean? There's no bad tyres.
No.
I've done lap times and then tyres. I've done lap times and then tyres. It's just like it's a personal preference thing, but it was mind over matter for me this year.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense?
No.
Like, I did the whole Northwest on my Dunlops this year, obviously.
Yeah.
Or not mine, but on Dunlops, for example. And I never had a.
You didn't have a blowout, did you?
No, I had no blowouts. But obviously, there was a lot of blowouts. Right, and in my head, I was like, this is bad. I says, I think I had a front tyre issue. And I just thought, at this point, you're mentally destroyed, aren't you?
Yeah, no, which is understandable. We've talked about
Do you know
this.
what I mean? Head's gone.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm just like, I can't. Bear in mind, because I've been with Metzler for so long, and I had a good relationship with them, I think I did, and they were always good to me, and I was good tyres, and everything were good, and it's like we sat down as a team thing, and it's like we switched over to the Dunlop, thing like that. And then we started going with that, and then I got to the Isle, and I said to the lads, I says, if we have any tyre problems at the Isle of Man, I says, I don't want to use these tyres. I says, everyone else is their own entity, they're their own team, one thing, but as a rider, I'm like, lads, I says, I don't feel comfortable setting off down Braille.
No, which is fair
With
enough.
back of my mind thinking, is my tyre going to have a fault? Is it not? Is it going to do? And then I did the first Superbike race, and obviously we all know Davey had the tyre problem. Mine, what didn't look very good after the race. And I just went, I don't want to ride.
No.
I want to go home.
No, which is at the end of the day, I tell you
Simple
what,
as that. Because at the end of the day, you go racing, right? I enjoy riding your bike, don't you? The reason why you do it, because you enjoy doing it. That's the most fundamental thing. The Isle of Man is too dangerous to go and not enjoy doing it.
Yes.
You have to want to go to the Isle of Man. Like when I say to you, you fancy having a go, like, no, I don't want to go, so you don't do it. Because you've got to want to do it, if that makes sense, because it's so dangerous.
Yes.
I think this job's really dangerous, the BSB. It's so dangerous, but the riders at BSB don't see the dangers. Whether that's because I've come from road racing, I'm so used to seeing danger.
yes.
And you come and ride here and you think, this is a lot more dangerous than I think people see it as that.
I'd agree.
I agree.
If you know where I'm coming from.
I would.
I can't say it's dangerous because I'd be a total hypocrite because obviously I do road racing. But there's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's massive different factors.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And then I just says I don't want to use them tyres. Then obviously we switched back to the Metzlers and. Whenever I had a problem.
Where you straight on the podium at the Isle of Man. But I tell you what,
I went out in the Super Sport race, and obviously I hadn't run a Metzler for, obviously it was pre-COVID, obviously, because we missed it with the COVID and things like that. And I just went down, we were bike I've rode before on the Metzlers and finished second.
Because now, to be fair, like 100% defend you. You know, it was a case of we talked about it on the show when the incident happened, and the most clarifying fact is that could happen to any brand of tyre. And we made that very clear. It wasn't just done like that. Could have happened to Metzler, Michelin.
No. I totally agree with you on that, right? But the fact of it wasn't.
It was Dunlop that was delaminating.
There were no.
No. I totally
agree with what you said. It can happen.
It can happen.
It can happen, right?
But it wasn't.
It didn't.
There was a clear fundamental problem.
100%.
With the construction of the Dunlop that year.
Yes, there was. There's a fault somewhere, and that were it, right? But the faults that they were having had never happened to a Metzler.
Did you prefer the Dunlops up to that point?
Probably not.
Was it
Right.
just?
But not saying that it's a bad tyre thing.
No.
The problem, the reason being behind it, because when you're on a tyre for so long and you're so used to using that and you've got so much faith and commitment in that, right, and then you switch across to something different, right, it takes so much time for you to change the bike and tweak it. And the other problem is, I come to BSB every weekend and I have a set of Pirellis in my motorbike, which the Pirelli and the Metzler being such a similar...
But they're the same company, essentially, aren't they? Yeah.
Similar tyre sort of thing. You get so used to the feel of something, and then you switch across to something that I never use.
Yeah.
I don't test Dunlops. I don't... The last time I used them were at Scarborough.
Yeah, but that were you on the RC Express bike running on them, weren't you?
That's what I'm saying, exactly. But there's nothing wrong with them. They worked absolutely fine. That's what I'm saying. The tyres in themselves, that I say, when they work, and that's it. But when you're so used to using something for so long, they're trying to have a transition in a week.
Yeah.
To go from being running at the front on one tyre to put another tyre in that you'd never use, that you don't use week in, week out.
Yes.
So then going back to the same place is difficult.
Oh God, no, I'm definitely not playing with you.
And I was struggling with that.
Yeah.
So I was changing stuff in the bike constantly, training, settings and setup and geometry, and you're playing about things to try and get a similar feel. And the lap times weren't there.
No.
But the one that they were out on with the bike, right? I didn't have the commitment there because it wasn't feeling how I wanted it to feel.
I tell you what was interesting. I tell you what, while we're talking about the Isle of Man, what was different? I remember us having a little bit of a chat with this off-air kind of thing ages ago. What was it about it this year? Was it the time off? Because really, your time, like you were doing 29s on the 600, but you were a 32, 30. Wait, it was 32s, wasn't it? But then Hickman was down to I think he did a 33 in practice, but he was doing the 30. The times weren't, and you're capable of a 136. Hickman's doing 36s. Why, in your opinion, was it slower this year?
Well, tyres is one thing.
Okay.
The transition of all that situation going on.
Yep.
Temperature's number 2.
Temperature?
Yeah, I didn't think it very warm.
Suppose it really... No, it wasn't actually.
I don't know.
No, it's interesting. No, because you got a point. Because everyone, it wasn't like the heat wave that we've been having and stuff like that. But there'll be people listening to this going, "It's a bloody Isle of Man." You never. But
the track was so green, and the bikes are so fast, mate. It's it's like yourself. You ride 1,000cc sports bikes.
Yeah.
For you to get back up to speed at something that's been away for so long on a track. That's why I was a bit good when I missed the Manx Grand Prix this year, obviously, or the Classic TT, whatever it's called now. I don't want to, sorry if I've called it the wrong thing. Because I know there's a bit of controversy here.
Yes, there is.
So I apologise to anyone listening. But I was gutted I missed that a little bit because I thought going around there, even whether it's on the ZXR that Dow Racing's got, I'd have loved to have ridden that because it had done your head so much good for more track time around the track. To constantly get yourself to familiarise yourself with it. Because having 3 years. Don't do something for 3 years and have a go. It's like you don't come to Alton Park for 3 years and come back in 3 years' time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting.
It takes a bit of getting back in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And this is a track that's 2.5 mile to 37 3/4. It's just there were things like that I struggled with. And this year, do you know what else I didn't like? Not that I didn't like it. There was so much. Because obviously they try to publicise it so much, which is a good thing, because obviously it's making the sport bigger. I totally get that, right? But this year, I almost got mentally destroyed with cameras.
With the people going around the paddock,
Not people like there's always something to film, and so I agreed to it. So you sort of make a rod for your own back.
Yes.
So I shouldn't really be moaning, but I just didn't think it was going to be as
Did you find
intrusive.
it quite overwhelming?
Yeah, you bang on it, Neil. Yeah, so overwhelming to do so. And I was like, I didn't get any time to compute out in my head. Everything that was going on, whether it were tyres, bike, track, weather, cameras, just there's that much going on condensed into such a small amount of time.
Yes.
I was just like, I just wanted to be like lifted out of it. Does that make sense? And
Oh,
you're just
no,
like,
yeah.
I'm like, friggin' hell. So that didn't help. Whereas now I've almost, I feel better in myself. Like I was saying the other day about having the weekend off.
Yeah.
Just everything is so intense permanently, which you can't. That's just how it is. But you just need to try and deal with it. And
Yeah.
Do you know? So all the tyres thing to one side. After you'd been to the Northwest 2 weeks or whatever before the TT, what was the biggest surprises in terms of the competition? Either like faster than you were expecting, or not as competitive as what you were expecting.
the TT.
So like after the Northwest,
Yeah.
how everyone had done at the Northwest, were you sort of surprised by anyone's lack of pace, or were you surprised by anyone that you weren't expecting to be very competitive but they were? Or was it all pretty much as you expected?
Pretty much there. Everyone's quick that you knew were going to be quick, to be honest. Yeah, no, everyone's times were good. It were the Northwest where Superbike times were good whenever. Obviously, the first one we got pulled out for tyre problems, and the second race we never started. But
Yeah.
I was on when I first row, second row of the grid. I'm in the mix running at the front.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I just never.
Is doing the BSB dramatically? Is it paying off now?
But of course, you ride your bike all the time doing the BSB. I do get frustrated at BSB sometimes. Like I said to you earlier, this year we've had, obviously the Dow Racing team, we've been together a few years now, and everything does work. 9 times out of 10 works, obviously.
Yeah.
Pretty seamlessly. But this year at the BSB, sort of a second season at it, and you're going at it, and we've had so much bad luck, like electrical problems, like we missed Brands Hatch, not missed it, but you wasted a whole weekend with electrical problems. Snetterton, the last round, again, we had us better into Q2 and you're doing better, and you have a load of electrical problems. It's like we've had loads of little silly things. Not that I'm not pointing the finger at anyone.
No, just shit
it's
happens.
no one's fault. It's just, you know yourself, it's how racing goes sometimes.
Yes.
And I feel, like I've said to you earlier, I just feel, I get pissed off because I feel like I, myself, sometimes can do better than I'm doing. But not that I'm blaming the team, because it's not the team's fault.
Yeah.
It's just that there's things there just like pulling your shirt back a little bit, and I'm like, I ain't really got time to show. Sometimes I really want to get going a bit, but anyway.
I was going to say Q2 at Snetterton, that was that sort of wet, dry. Did you
Northwest weather.
Yeah, did you got inters for that, or were we on wet?
Wet front.
Dries? Wet front, dry rear.
Inter rear.
Right. Yeah, it was good.
Northwest weather.
Yeah, see, there we go.
It's the first time I put inters in at all. So obviously in Superstock you never have that choice. And I went for inters, and I wasn't sure what it was doing because it looked like it was drying out, and then it just started drizzling. And I thought, this is perfect. But then as we went over the line with like 1 minute to go, and Jason O'Halloran was like tipping into turn 1, and he turned out to be on wet, and the track definitely wasn't wet. So I must have took about 5 seconds out of him, and then I knew, obviously chuffed to get
name dropping there,
Gotta be good. I tell you what was interesting beginning this interview. Is you sound massively deflated about your BSB performance, and I actually regularly say this on the show. It's like what you're doing is outstanding, because you haven't stepped in and just gone, that'll do kind of thing. You haven't just sat. You've got faster and faster and faster.
I constantly, every time, there's only one place this year that I hadn't improved my times.
There we are.
And that was Snetterton. But I mean, like Cadwell Park, I'm taking chunks of time off. All the time, we're constant development. I'm getting faster and faster, but not quick enough.
Which is fair enough, but it's amazing.
Because you're never going to be satisfied, because even if you were
banging out 25s,
if you were 10th every weekend, you'd want to be 8th or 7th.
Almost, exactly. We're not going where I want to be. But Snetterton were the only one that we hadn't gone faster. But I'll say
was shit, wasn't it?
I know Brad's saying, but again, I had electrical problems all weekend, an engine issue, and the weather were crap at Snetterton and things like that. It's just frustrating. So,
speaking of Dow Racing as well, more generally, the sponsor, little Johnny Garnes, who won he won the British what's it called, the British Talent Cup, I think, these days. He won that with like a few rounds to go, and he seems to be doing really well. Obviously, he must be sort of backed by your team in some way.
Yeah, Somai backs him.
He's doing a great job, though, isn't he?
Yeah, but yeah, he's won nearly, I think, every race this year, and he's sort of just gone.
I can't get any better than that, can you?
Gone, yeah, no, I don't know what his next step will be, to be honest. I don't know how actually old he is and what sort of path you'd go at that age on that sort of bike. I don't know.
He looks tiny. I think the best, like, looking at it from the world point of view, I think that all of the racing in sort of Spain and
got Spanish, Spanish. Is it Spanish Championship you call it? I think.
Yeah. It's like Junior World Championship, but also I'm not 100% up to speed on it. But they're changing the minimum age, so at the moment you can go to Moto3 when you're like 14, and then they're upping it this year to 15, then next year to 16. So if you're like just young, too young this year,
it's going to catch you
for the next like 3 years or something. So you're going to be sort of stuck in Junior World. I'm not sure if this will apply to Johnny. I don't actually know how old he is.
No, that's I don't. I'm sorry, no, I don't. I couldn't be able to tell you.
I do know that there is like a cut off, and there's kids that are just too young and
they're going to miss it for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, that's a bit of a bummer, isn't it? Right, so I didn't. You know more than me, then I didn't even know that.
I tell you what, I want to ask this question. I don't want to get you in trouble, but have you ever wanted to scratch the itch on having a go on another bike? Now, I know you went from BMW to Kawasaki, and you've been flying the Kawasaki colours for a long time. You're getting results on the bike. You're going faster. There's nothing wrong with a bike, but as a rider, as a racer, you'll feel the same. I feel the same. I'd love to have a go on other bikes.
Fast.
His bike.
He knows it's fast.
There we go. So no, but you know what I mean, though. Have you ever felt, if you were going to pick another bike to have a go on, what bike would you have a go on? I don't want to get you in trouble with Team Green Kawasaki, but you know what I mean?
Everyone wants to have a go, but I'd love to go with Ducati. Even though they're not even doing... They're not... No disrespect, but I know Brooks has struggled a little bit this year, so I was told things like that. But you look at it and listen to it, and it just like it's rattling away, and you're like... There's just some... Do
you reckon it would work on the roads?
That's what I'm saying, I don't know.
But you'd love to give it a go.
But I know how fast it is, because I've rode on track with it. And I'm like, that's a fast motorbike, right? And I'm just like, I'd love a go of it.
I mean, Glenn dominated when he went to the Northwest, didn't it?
You know, that was a V2, though.
Yeah.
That was a V-twin one, that one a V4.
Right.
Alistair struggled a bit on the V4, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, he did. But
he would have been like a paper bag on the back of that.
You love a challenge. I love a bit of a... Do you know what? Have a go. Let's see how we get on it and just get stuck in a bit. I wouldn't mind a bit of a doing it.
Are you not being... thought of having a chat with the bosses, how racing goes.
I don't think Clarissa, can we just go by Ducati? I think you tell me to second words off.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
But no, I'd love to go with that. We could have a Ducati, wouldn't you? We could have a V2 and the 959 as a 6 Supra and have a Ducati. Imagine that road racing team. That'd be some noise.
Oh my god, that'd be beautiful.
I mean, I think there's a few Ducatis in Supersport at the moment. I think Luke Jones might be on one.
They're doing well in Worlds. They've massively ticked the box in Worlds.
They won pole at Daytona, but I think there's going to be a bigger presence from Ducati in Supersport next year. I know a few riders
British.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see a top team.
That's good news for the tri-option lads, isn't it?
Because who's running that then?
Sorry. I don't know. It's all just rumours, but one of the Superbike teams is looking to run a Supersport team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on a Ducati. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So that's going to be another Ducati team. You know what I mean? That's actually not going to have a Suzuki team. Oh, we're going to run a Ducati.
Yeah. I tell you where would be interesting on Ducati, and I think it would work. It's like everything flip of a coin. It's either going to work or not. But the Southern on a Ducati, them straight lines. You literally pick the thing up and it'll be like, wow.
You won the Superbike race, I think, or the senior race or whatever. At the
I won a senior. David Todd won the Cholo Championship race.
It was quite.
I won a senior Superbike race. Yeah, Michael won a Supersport race. And
the racing looked fantastic.
It was good. It was great racing.
For me, right, you are like. Just pretend you're not here while I blow smoke up your ass, but you're the perfect ambassador for road race, because every time they put the microphone under your face, you were just like, it's just mint racing. You were genuinely like, this is mint racing.
People said, "Oh, you didn't win it. Are you upset?" I said, "Well, of course I wanted to win. You want to win every race. You want to. Not me. I'm here to try and win races."
Why?
I says, "But you can't expect me to be pissed off because I finished second and broke that record." What do you want me to do? Start cracking? It's just, that's life, isn't it? I won that race. I was second in that one. Michael won. David third. Davey won that race. I think I was second. Michael third. We had close racing all week, right?
You haven't had that for a while.
No,
around
exactly,
there, you have not had that around the Southern for a while.
Well, the best race I've ever had around there was 2017. By far the best race I've ever had around the Southern. There were me, Michael, and Dan Neen. Right, Michael were on the Suzuki that he rode this year, or the same team. Dan rode on the DTR.
Right, the Danny Tomlinson
BMW.
bike. Jesus,
Yes, and I run, obviously, the Silicones at Extenders it were in 2017.
They were stockers, though,
Right,
weren't they?
and that were no, mine were a superbike. Dan's were a stocker, I think, but Michael's was a superbike. Right?
Wow.
But I won the solo championship race, right? And it was the only race I won all week because I broke down in the other 2 superbike races with I think a regular rectifier went and then something else,
Yes,
a glitch or something. And I won that race again that year. I only won the one race out of the 3. And that was probably the best race I've had around there because there were 3 of us like changing positions the whole race.
That's class. Because the only person prior to that getting near was Jamie Coward in the 600s. You know what I mean? You're both similar machinery.
Michael's always been there.
Oh, no. But Michael's been dipping in and out the southern kind of thing. You're consistently there. Jamie Coward's consistently there. You know, Michael picks and chooses when he wants to go, which is fair enough. But when he turns up, he's
fast, yeah.
Because the time prior to that, he was riding the Tyco bike, and unfortunately,
high side out last turn.
Fucking hell, that was big. That just
straight up. Was there something controversial about the fuel at the 700 or something?
Yeah, it was the fuel at the Padgett's bike run. I don't know what fuel it was. It was mentioned on the radio. But I don't know what you can and can't run. I don't know.
We were talking about that. We were like,
all I says was when you follow the bike closely with the exhaust pipe of the 600 being in the centre of the seat piece, mate, it would melt your eyes. But like I'll follow you round Cadwell at the weekend, for example, and I could breathe absolutely fine, and my eyes didn't start watering. Whereas when I was following that thing, and Michael was saying, he explained what fuel it was, but it didn't make any sense to me.
Right, okay.
It was I don't know what it was, but it just melted your eyes out. it was like very poignant fuel. Like,
here's a question for you. In terms of, like, sometimes when you're racing...
But Andy ran auto blip, that's what Michael said. But he had it on at Scarborough at weekend as well, auto blip. But you're not allowed it on a 600, are you?
Are you not?
Because the new Honda's a lot. The new Honda's got it.
I was like, I didn't even clock this. You know what I mean? I didn't even pay attention to it. It says, oh yeah, he's not using his clutch to go down. Because a 600, obviously our super bikes we have auto blip.
Yeah.
600. If you watch any super sport rider, the rules are you've got to use the clutch. Obviously his has got auto blip.
Have you seen
Marquez
Marquez
again, I was like, does it matter?
It's got traction control and auto blip, and you think, well, I tell you what,
is this the standard 600 come?
Yeah. So if you watch Marquez, he's got a training 600 for going around go-kart, like how we piss around on pit bike. He's got one for. If you watch that footage, same thing again. Hands locked in, boom, 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 whap, whap. They've got them.
So,
and if it's got them,
there was some controversy like that, but I don't want to. The thing is, if you finish second in a race and third in a race, right, and you start saying, you just whinging because you didn't win, where you're best off just going,
give it a go next time.
Yeah.
Next time.
Question for you: in terms of do you prefer going into a race where you don't really like, or you've got like a bit of a gripe with the person that you're battling for the win with, so you like sort of or do you enjoy, so like, do you know, like say when I presume you're top mates with Lee, when you're like say battling for a race win with Lee, like it must be, I don't know, do you find it difficult?
You don't when you're at the road racing, unless it's the Northwest. At the Northwest, obviously, you know you're battling because you'll see them.
Yeah, sure.
But at the Isle of Man, you don't know half the time.
That's true. Yeah.
You just see a pit board in a position where if you're say, let's say you're in third, for example, it'll be P3 plus how many seconds, and then minus how far you find the front. You don't actually know who it is half the time.
If you went into British Supersport again, could you beat Lee?
Probably not. It's faster than
because when you think about obviously the CT.
I've never been in British Supersport.
No. You did it once, didn't you?
I did 4 rounds.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But this is the question I'm asking.
Right, my base beat,
you can't beat Lee.
We did 4 rounds of Supersport, 4 rounds of Super Stock, and then I've done Superbike ever since.
Aye. But when you think about Scarborough, you've got the lap record, haven't you, in the 600s?
Yes.
Yep. So you and Lee bouncing around there. Northwest, you bounce around together. TT, you pip them there, and it's. You can pedal a 600, son, and I'm just thinking.
I don't like riding 600. You actually ride it, don't you?
Yeah.
Whereas a superbike rides you. Do you get what I mean? It does, doesn't it? The superbike's that hard to ride. Like round here tomorrow, it's like it's so physical, isn't it?
Yeah.
How much riding do you do before, like on the 600? You literally turn up at the events.
No,
TT, for
before
example.
this year, I did a Snetterton test on a 600.
All right.
Northwest.
Class.
That was it.
Class.
Yeah, just set off on it.
Keep the engines fresh, son. That's the way to do it.
Don't keep the mileage down.
Going into, obviously we've got 3 rounds to go in the next 4 weeks, proper like jam packed.
Yes.
Looking at the front of the championship, who do you fancy for the title this year?
Do you know what? I had this conversation and I don't even know. I genuinely don't. Brad Ray's riding really well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's smashing it.
I think Brad's looking one of the strongest, I'd have said.
Definitely, yeah.
And then you can't ride any... The thing is, everyone's fast. And all it takes, right? No, because the points are so close. All it takes is a silly little mistake and to, like, go Holland did here. Like, last year he crashed on the exit of Knickerbrook, I think you call it.
Yeah.
25 points down. Or 20 points down if you... Do you know what I mean? So it could come down to a silly little mistake like that and a little crash.
Yeah.
And that could totally ruin someone's championship because obviously you've only got 3 rounds to win it in.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody says to me, you've got your money and you've got to put your money on it now, I'd be like, ooh, I wouldn't want to be putting my money down. Do you know what I mean? Which is a good thing, really, because it makes it more exciting.
Definitely, yeah. Did any of you see the GP at the weekend, by the way?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, all right.
Marquez came back just straight back in the middle of the action.
Mate,
Very unlucky.
Obviously, he nearly high with turn 3.
Yeah, something like that.
It like a moment
And
coming out of
Fabio.
turn 3, and Fabio went obviously up his ass. But
And then
that
like
was just a racing incident. Because let's be honest, Marquez didn't want to have a near high side.
Yeah.
No.
Fabio were close to him because it's the first lap of the race, turn 3. Everyone's that bunched up. Like,
It's just
you know,
really unlucky, wasn't
it was unlucky, wrong place, wrong time almost. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's like Jack Miller came out and says, oh, if you're going to ride up someone's ass, you expect trouble. Not on lap 1.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? You're like, give the guy a bit of credit. He didn't, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's no one's fault. There's no one finger upon it. It was basically up his ass because he's trying to, it's like, if you're on the first laps, right, and you leave a gap,
The person behind
someone's going to go in the gap that's behind you. So Fabio's there to try and keep the gap that little. He don't want anyone to get in it.
Racing.
And he's racing. And he just made a little... He obviously lost the rear and he went up his ass. It's like...
It's opened the championship right up, though.
It's made it more interesting,
obviously, Bagnai is absolutely on fire at the
Bastianini
moment.
is on fire, mate.
Bastianini and Alicia Spargo's climbed right up back in, so it's all to play for on GP. Did you see there's been a big fire in Sam Lowe's garage?
I don't know what's
at
happened. I
Motegi?
did see the pictures, yeah.
So the garage is all set up.
Yeah.
And then the whole... I don't know what's happened there, but hopefully it'll get out. I don't know if they'll be able to get out.
I don't know how bad it was, to be honest. I don't know.
And yeah, because GPs have got the flyways, but week after, so we think it's bad going from Alton to Donington, like whatever, 200
2
miles.
hours down the road.
They're going from Aragon to Motegi, but if they literally pack everything up Sunday night, put it in air freight, fly it out. They then get it like sort of Wednesday, get it to the track, set everything up, race that weekend, pack everything away, back in air, flat out them lads. On
Yeah, it's some job.
I'm looking for a career change. I'm thinking I might just jockey around there. What's it? Roadie. They're essentially like motorcycle roadies, aren't they? Like doing that job. Absolutely class, man. Absolutely class.
In terms of the road racing calendars, that pretty much finished for this season.
Yeah, the last round was Garb at the weekend, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So
last round, the Gold Cup at the weekend.
obviously it was great that got
I
up
wish
and
I'd
going.
like to have done that, but obviously I can't do that.
No.
Is Macau?
Oh no, someone said the Macau's on again, but I don't think I don't know if I'm going. I don't think I'll be going yet.
Right.
No, I'm waiting on surgery, so I'll have to bow out of that
I didn't
one.
want
so.
to. I don't like the quarantine side of things. I've never been a big COVID man as it is anyway. So
Yeah.
It's
COVID.
you know what I mean. I don't think you're gonna get me doing any quarantine or all
no,
that.
no, because it was like 7 days in Hotel A. Then after the 7-day period, well, Hotel A, you have to be in your room for 7 days,
Mate.
and then
If I'm
after
gonna go to
in the
prison-
Hotel B, you're allowed to go around the hotel,
Yeah.
right? And then after that, then you've got to stay out there for essentially for the 2 weeks.
If you're gonna send me to prison, I want to do something wrong.
I thought they dropped it to like 3 days or something.
Right.
Is that not right?
You might be right. I don't know the ins and outs of it.
Do you enjoy racing over there?
Do you know what? I did enjoy going over there. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, I did. It's good. It's an experience. And I've been twice. I've been a couple of times, so I know that I've got a reason going. And I was going quite well last time. I was chipping way through, but I didn't feel. I was a bit ill.
COVID.
And I couldn't shit. I had a disaster, mate. Honestly, it's the worst thing in the world.
Couldn't shit.
I couldn't shit, mate. Honestly, I was gonna blow up. I was gonna die. I felt horrible. But honestly, it was bad. But by the time I got over it in the race, I started to chip my way through, and it was actually all right. But I haven't been back since. But I would go back. Don't get me wrong. I didn't quite. The track's not too bad. It's probably the most dangerous track you'll ever do because there's obviously no room.
There is literally
But you just get into a bit of a rhythm, do your own thing, and use your loaf a bit, and it's all right.
It is class, though. Like the undulations, the actual layout, it's like
and down.
in it on a hillside.
Yeah, it's
like
an experience.
It's class. I actually really enjoy the track. I just wish we got more track time.
Yeah, you need a lot of respect for over there.
Yeah.
Take a step back.
Speaking, you mentioned surgery. Where's everything at with that?
I've been referred to a different surgeon, so it's like I'm just waiting to hear back from that. So I've got more.
What is the crack then? What's happened? I know you got hit in the face with a chainsaw, but I mean,
pretty much.
But I mean, what since then? What have they done since? Do you know what I mean?
So when for Armoy, when jumped back in just to try and reshape the eyelid, like rebuild the top eyelid. But the problem is because the notch in my skull's that deep. Now the chainsaw didn't go straight; it went on the side. So you can imagine when you got your head on, try to move my head, instinctively.
Yeah.
But the saw's gone diagonally across the side of my skull. So what's happening is the muscle's going into the notch.
I understand, yeah.
So it's causing my eye to lift up, which is not giving me my full blink.
Yes.
Suddenly you jump in.
How high can you go now? Can you do anything now? Or is it still holding it off your eye?
It's still holding my eye off. So if you can see me straight there, but this is me naturally shutting my eyes. See how it's not fully shut, so that needs to come back, and my blurriness has come from like dry eye.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
So I've got 20/20 vision, but it's because it's drying out because I can't blink.
Yeah.
That's where the blurriness has come from. So that's why I need to keep applying drops.
Yeah.
All the time. But the longer the process goes on,
the worse it is for your eye.
It's going to be the worst for the eye. But every single surgeon, like I've been trying to get private and stuff like that, and lucky for me, my referral has been to Dr. Clark, and every private clinic I go to, I say, look, I've got an appointment to see Miss Clark at the Dr. Clark, sorry, and they go, no, go see Dr. Clark. I'm like, bloody hell, right, no problem. So I'm just holding out the. It's like going to a proper mechanic and a ship mechanic, isn't it? So it's that's the game I'm playing at the moment. So I've got more questions and answers, but I've got all the confidence in the world because every single one of them going, no, we can fix that. You know what I mean? They're all going, we'll fix that. So it'd be nice to go to the Isle of Man with 2 eyes. So it'll be grand.
I don't mean that in a bad way. I couldn't imagine that. Oh,
well, the mad thing is, though, it's the game we play, Dean. You know what I mean? I generally feel like if you take
I don't like chainsaws.
I do, sadly. That's the thing, actually. I'll tell you what, the mad thing, I sat on a harvester, like a tree harvester. I've got all my tickets.
Yeah.
And I dedicated myself, thinking, I'm going through the injury, give it time to heal. And I sat on my arse in a machine for 6 weeks, and I went, this is killing me. And it makes it, when you go through shit like this, I enjoy my job.
Yeah, I get
it's
that.
shit, you know what I mean? It's like I'm outdoors all the time. I'm getting to climb gnarly stuff that wants to kill you all the time. And I'm like, I actually enjoy my job. I'd rather be a professional motorcycle racer. But
that's Chris's job.
There you are. It is now.
Trying.
No, but like, you know what I mean? You have to take someone away sometimes to appreciate what you've got. And it's like, but hey, I'm making it bigger than it is, and it will get fixed. It's just, like I say, more questions and answers, but it'll be grand.
Couple of little Patreon questions. First one, Sam Downs. You actually mentioned this last time about following in your dad's footsteps in the sidecar racing. I saw you at Cadwell for the revival. You were out racing one and got on pretty well. Because you did mention last time that at some point you probably will do a bit of sidecar racing. Is that still on the cards?
Yeah, I thought I will do, but I'm not old enough yet, am I?
Wait, no, you're not, son.
No, it's just tight. I said you can't do everything, can you?
Yeah.
That'll come in good time. We'll race in a sidecars.
Yeah, class. Jess Mortimer asking about. Well, he's asked about a naked middleweight class. I guess
that's what's happening next year, isn't it? The F900, is it?
The BMW thing. Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to seeing. I would personally like to see Dom out in that class. I think it would be brilliant to be at BSB.
I would love to do it, mate. I would absolutely love to do it.
And apparently it's massively oversubscribed.
Do you want to sponsor us, Dean Harrison Engineering? Imagine that all over the bike. Come on, son.
The bike ready to go is 11 grand, I think.
Yeah.
In like all ready.
In Grand Scheme of racing, it's
I think it's
cheap.
like two sets, or you're allowed something like
it's
two
sets of four tyres. Yeah. 4 tyres, aye.
So two sets of tyres a weekend.
You do it then.
Brass, hardcore. Look here, right? Don't. Oh mate, you've been there yourself.
I'll buy you the violin.
Big one, a little one.
World's smallest.
That'll be champion. They're not cheap, you know. They're not cheap. There you go. Fucking multi-millionaire engineers like that. Fucking here we go.
I've got Alex Chapman. I've got a few questions from Alex, but one of them, which sector or corner at the TT do you think you have the most potential to improve the most? That's a good question.
I like that.
What corner do I have the most potential? I don't know. There's too many.
Is there any way you feel like you feel like you haven't really cracked it yet, and you think there's like time to make up?
Question.
Do you know what? I couldn't single one out.
You just feel like you're just pushing the envelope on every single one.
There's a few sections that you go for and you think, that's not quite right. Like from Ramsey Airpin up to the Mountain Mile. Joey's and through all that section. I'm not.
That's one of your weaknesses, really, isn't it? Because through the bottom, you just fuck off at the bottom.
I'm good at the bottom side of the track, but I struggle through that bit a little bit, yeah. But live and learn.
That's a cracking question, that though. If you had to pick out one corner, you think, be the shy
I don't have one corner. There's not one specific corner that stands out. Because the Isle of Man, because it's so big, you have to sort of break it down into a section.
Yes.
Or like a group of corners. And there's a few places where there's a bit more to be had. But
is Glenn going to be a challenge?
Of course he's going to be a challenge.
When is he going to be a challenge, do you think?
It's fast next year, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. No, it's good, isn't it? You know, get some more names out there for the play with. So.
No, I think there's loads of people that'll be out with them. So.
And before we wrap things up, in terms of obviously it's coming to the end of the season and like
silly season,
all the rumours start going about who's going where.
I haven't heard our rumour review. What rumours have you? You must have some good rumours. Can you give me some rumours? I don't know anything.
I'm doing my best to try and find some to bring to the podcast. But
I haven't got any rumours.
You know,
well, I heard like Hickman's going Honda.
that's
FHO.
not. I know for a fact that that's not happening now.
Is that right?
Oh, well, there goes my rumour.
Yeah.
I hadn't even heard that rumour.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know that. Right. Okay.
No, but like you say, it's becoming silly season. So let's confirm who we have. So Jack Kennedy, he's confirmed, stepping up with. Is it it's Martrain, but under McCams, because Stephen Smith was there. Stephen Smith. I've just combined several names, haven't I? Steve Rogers. Who's Stephen Smith? I have no idea. There you are.
He's one of the Manx.
There we are. So he's partnering up with him. See, good lad.
Buy him on the ball here.
So we've got, what do you call him? Give me another name. FS3.
Lee Jackson.
Lee Jackson. He's confirmed.
I saw that on Twitter. Actually, he's confirmed that. Yeah.
He's confirmed. So really, as far as where we are sitting at the moment, they have the only two riders confirmed.
Yeah, but I can't say like Glenn Irwin's not going to go anywhere. He's going to stay at Honda.
Because who would move around that? Because they've got the two Japanese lads. They've got Tom Neve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is there going to be any shift in there? Who knows? You know, it's like, it's interesting, isn't it? Because who were we talking to about people stepping up from last time? Was it
Michael Howarth?
Michael Howarth, that was it. We're talking about like Charlie Nesbitt deserves a superbike ride. We haven't heard anything.
He's rode really well this year.
He's done mint.
Yeah,
absolutely mint. So no, but as far as like, just kind of. The old guard needs to shuffle around a little bit, doesn't it? So we see where people go.
What do you know that we don't?
Yeah.
Come on. You're always in the know, you see.
You are the man. You are the man.
And just think, because it's difficult because you can't break
how much
trust,
trouble.
can you? So like, if people say, "I'll tell you this," but you can't say anything.
Fair enough. No, I get that.
So
I can respect
I'm trying to think. You kind of want to hear rumours that you can then regurgitate on the podcast.
Yeah.
But when someone actually tells you a fact, you bollocks, really.
Next week on the podcast.
No, I get that. Fair.
But there's some big parts moving around, I think, in the paddock, isn't there? And like you said, there's only a few actually confirmed at the moment. So, yeah, I mean, it's all good for the sport, isn't it? Like,
it makes it interesting, I suppose. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
What are you doing next year then, Gon?
And I haven't actually got anything sorted at the moment.
Are you looking?
I've enjoyed, obviously. I've enjoyed, obviously, stepping up to British Superbikes. Kind of since I was a kid, really, it's been a dream to like.
I went to you had that Mizuno bike for a few rounds, didn't you?
I did back in 2018 on the Suzuki. But yeah, since I was a kid, I've always kind of from watching BSB on the TV, like when I was like 5-6 year old, I remember like I've always kind of in the back of my head, I'd love to do that one day. So I feel like it's I've really enjoyed this year. It's incredibly challenging. Probably at the end of the season I'll go through and like talk, and I'll run through everything and like budgets and exactly what everything's cost and all the highs and lows and
you know that little violin you're going to give us. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, there's no violin. I'm just being.
I'm winding you,
in terms of there's so much happening, like moving parts behind the scenes, and like there's so. But on the whole, it's like rewarding. And would I want to sort of do the same thing again? There's loads of positives about like doing it as a close knit, like your own privateer team there's lots of good things about that, but it is mega stressful and difficult. So I think I would obviously prefer to just turn up and somebody else have like the headache in the week.
Ride the bike,
but it's what's available, and so yeah, just have to see. But I'd like to continue racing superbikes.
Yeah.
Are you the same?
He's riding FHO. Oh shit! I should have said that. No.
Do you know in terms of like at the end of the season, obviously,
Superbike, Superstock, I'm staying it down.
Mint.
Have you already signed for next year, sort of thing? Right, excellent.
Yeah.
Do you actually sign a contract?
Yeah.
All right, no, just because you've been you've been part of the family, the Darius,
yes, I know what you mean, yeah.
I'm just wondering, is it that you go, Clarissa, you're all right, yeah, next year, why not?
Is it your choice? Because I take it the over.
I'm not down a 600 next year.
Sorry?
There you go.
Excuse me, say that again. You're not riding a 600?
Riding a 600 next year.
Roads, period.
Everything.
Right.
What is that, personal choice or team choice?
No, team choice. Yeah, They said not running me on a 600 next year.
Were you on the 636?
No, ZX6.
No, ZX6 had to be a 600 for the roads.
This is standard. Well, not standard, but obviously a tunable.
Yeah.
So are you? Bike. The ZX6 is a brilliant bike.
Are you a sort of free agent at the moment, or have you got something? Have you already signed?
I've not signed, but I've got something lined
in
up.
the pipeline.
Yeah, I'm going to test the next one.
Oh, very good.
That's interesting. That's good. Wait, that's exciting.
There you go.
You know what I mean? That's really exciting.
Yeah, no, I ride a Superstock Superbike for the same team, obviously.
Yeah.
It's a bit sad, really. It's like a bit of a... Because obviously when you've been with a team for so long on and everything like that, and then it's like, oh no, there's no bike for you next year, you're like, oh right. It came a bit of a shock.
I bet having like another set of leathers with other sponsors and stuff, you'll almost feel like you're cheating on them. Getting dressed like...
I know it's going to be a bit of a... Yeah, it is, yes. So, no, but that's the way that you move forward, don't you? What else can you do? Obviously, I would have preferred to, obviously, hand on heart, if it says, right, what we're going to do, obviously, you'd prefer to stay in the same team, because like you've just said, when everything's under one roof, and you all want to do the same job, and obviously we finished second at the TT this year, third at the TT, we've had good results on a 600, it's not like we're
No, fact, like you're on
not a million mile. I brought the sector record at the Supersport for start line to Glenelg this year on the bike. Do you know what I mean? It's like for the first 9 mile, is that?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So, and obviously, we have pace on a 600.
Is this okay? We can't delve in too much. Is it a new team or an existing team?
No, it's an existing team.
Right. God, I want to ask them who the fuck is it? You know what I mean? But no.
I can't say it is at the minute.
Is that going to be New Year news or TT announcement?
I'm going to ride the bike first, but no, it's really just the person that works the bike. That is a genuine bloke, really nice bloke. I've known him around the paddock for quite a while. And
fantastic.
It'll just so we'll go have a ride on the bike. I can't see it. It's going to be the bike's fine. There's nothing wrong with the bike. I don't think so. It's the bike. I'll probably 99% I'm going to be riding next year.
Good man.
I think so. I would have rode it at Scarborough at the weekend, but I wasn't allowed due to contractual problems. But
fair enough.
That's the way. That's how it is, and you've got to abide by the rules, play the game. That's how it is. So obviously that's why I want it Scarborough.
There we are. You see, there we go. Hey, exciting stuff.
So, are you any further forward with like?
I'm the one putting him on a bike. I'm stepping into management, so I'm providing a bike for Dean. No.
That's how it is.
Exciting times. Have you got anything else?
No, I'm 100% employable. Right? Like I know. So if anyone wants to put me on a big bike or anything like that, so please get in touch.
But nice.
Exciting times. Well, all the best for this weekend.
Yes.
Same to you. I'll see you on track tomorrow.
Oh, here we go. Won't be friends anymore. This will be good. It'll be good crack.
Good weekend, and then obviously same again for next weekend, and then into the final round. Thanks very much for taking the time to come on the podcast as well. It's been really nice to catch up. Just a quick one on. I was speaking to Chris at Bennett's, and he was saying for the last round they're doing a big thing where where they can do the pillion laps and all that sort of stuff. So for Bennett's customers, so I said I'd give it a shout out on the podcast. And also I'd like to say a lady from a coffee company called Quick Shifter Coffee,
what a name,
Quick Shifter Coffee, sent us a few it's like a tea bag. It comes in a bag and you brew it, but it's like a good quality coffee.
And you know a good quality tea bag, don't you?
So I'll make you one for the next podcast. But I just wanted to say thanks for sending that. And that's everything from me. Thanks very much for taking the time. Massive thanks to our sponsors, Colchester, Kawasaki, and to all of our patrons. And we'll catch up next week. Cheers.
See you in a bit.
Chasin The Racin, Powered by Colchester Kawasaki. Part of the Global Moto Group, we supply new Aprilia, Moto Guzzi, Vespa, Royal Enfield, Kawasaki, Sim, Mutt and Benelli motorcycles.